Now, Cecilia is a social prescriber who has encountered many obstacles in her own life and has managed to come out on top against all of the odds. Because she believes that within each of us, it lies the capability to overcome. With a speech entitled, "Your Origin is Not Your Destination," please welcome Cecilia.
Your origin is not your destination. Where I come from, education puts us where we are because we have farm life, which is really, really great because we grew up on that for generations. But I wanted more. And I knew that the way to get more was going to be through education. And so my journey began. So I went to the primary school, went through primary school as normal, and I managed to pass my exams to secure a place in the secondary school. And I was so happy. But going to the secondary school presented two challenges for me. Firstly, I didn't get a school close to home. And so I had to travel miles and miles away, which took about 8 to 10 hours on the train to get to a boarding school that was assigned to me. And that was quite challenging. And the other challenge is it was very, very difficult for my mom to raise, the amount of money that was required for me to get to the boarding school and pay my school fees and buy everything that was required. She did everything. She borrowed money from everywhere. And in the end, she managed to raise about 3/4 of the total amount that was required. And so I went to school. This time, was my life. It was really exciting because I thought I was, stepping onto, a greater level, in my life, looking at where I came from. So it was exciting. But when I go to the school, something else began to go through my mind because I realized just how poor my family really was. Because now I started comparing myself with my peers whose parents had good education and they were in good jobs. And the difference was obvious. And this made me really, really sad, in one way. But again, this was like a motivation for me to study even harder and to choose my friends wisely because I didn't want to get distracted. So as time passed, things were really, really hard in between, but I tried to push through. And the time passed, and we were coming towards the end of the first term. And I started getting worried because I didn't know where my mom was going to get the money from for the second term. And so I was thinking, what can I do? And so I plucked up the courage. I went and spoke to one of my teachers about my situation. And she kindly, directed me to the head teacher to go and speak to the head teacher. And so I went. And luckily, when I spoke to the head teacher, he had some information, about an international organization that was helping the students who were in a similar situation as myself to pay their school fees. And so I got in touch with them, and thankfully, they agreed to pay the school fees for me for the rest of that year up until I completed my secondary school. And that was such a big achievement for me. I was so happy. And so, fast forward, I went through secondary school, sat for the exams. I did really well, and I got good results. And now I started to think, what was I going to do, after leaving the secondary school? And I came up with an idea of doing some voluntary work with a charity organization that was working with the vulnerable children and young people in the community. So I approached them and I registered with them, and they gave me an opportunity. So I worked there for about a year and a half, and I got experience, which was really, really good, and things were really getting better for me. And from there, I got an opportunity to move over to England to come and study and work. Now life was really getting better, and this is really, really good. I was now in a position, to work, study, and be able to support my family back home. And that was really, really good. So why am I talking about this? Why am I sharing with you? It's for two reasons. The first reason is because this experience taught me quite a lot of things about life in general and about myself. But it has also given me a sense of empathy towards the underprivileged, especially children and young people, because I know what it is like not to have. And the second reason why I'm sharing is to speak to some of you in the audience, especially young people. In life, I want you to be encouraged. You can achieve anything, and I mean anything you want, but you only have to remember that nothing will come to you on a silver plate. Every success story comes with hard work, determination, consistency, and patience. I have done it. Many other people have done it. I'm sure you can too. Thank you.
Cecilia, everybody!